It's your boy Noto, coming to you with another video, coming to you with another podcast, man. And in today's podcast, we're going to discuss 3 undeniable ways to overcome any addiction. If you're new here or you already been here, go ahead and click that like button, go ahead and comment, go ahead and subscribe, and click that notification bell so you can be notified whenever I drop a video. And without further ado, let's go and dive into this topic, man. See, this is something I really wanted to talk about because this is something that's plaguing a lot of men these days, young men, young and old. It's something that really needs to be addressed, and it's something that I wanted to really just attack for you guys. And I recently had addictions before because I was used to be a alcoholic, and so I had some things that I wanted to share with you guys that I feel like could cover any addiction because these things can help you tack on anything. And that was a big monkey on my back that I really, really, really needed to kick off, and it was the hardest one too. I used to smoke and I used to drink as well. But anyway, getting into the first one, the first undeniable way to overcome any addiction is I don't want to seem like I'm coming from any 12-step program or something like that. You know what I mean? But the first thing is admit that you have an addiction. You have to do that. That's the main one of the main things that a lot of people are running from. A lot of people don't even want to admit that they have an addiction. They don't want to admit it. And that's a huge problem. It's a huge problem simply because you can't even go about even trying to solve any problem if you can't admit that you have one in the first place. You see what I mean? You see the importance of admitting it? What they always say, that you always have to admit that you have a problem. You have to admit it, guys. Have to. So, and once you do that, now even though I got through all the doubt, I got through all the mess, all the plagues, everything. Now I can admit that I have a problem. I got past all the emotional barriers. I got past all the psychological barriers. Now I admit that I have a problem. Now that I can attack it. Now it's time to go and fix it. You see what I mean? A lot of problems happen just because they don't want to take that first step, guys. You have to be able to take that first step. It'll be for the better and it'll be able to change your life. So the first undeniable way to overcome any addiction is to first admit that you have one. You have to first admit that you have one, guys. The second undeniable way to overcome any addiction is you have to truly want to overcome it. See, the thing about it is, a lot of people, they'll say something, but they truly don't want to do it. You see what I mean? But the thing is, for a lot of cases, it has to be something real traumatic that actually drives them to say, never again. That's the energy we need. Never, ever again will I ever do this again. Usually has to be something. Maybe it's an embarrassing situation. Maybe it's something that just puts you in a bad situation. Whatever it is, maybe it caused you to be in the hospital. Maybe it was life threatening. Maybe it gave you a near death experience. It's gonna take some type of wake up call to make you say a never again. And once you get to that never again space, that's when the good things happen. Because you know what happens when you say never again, and then in turn you make a promise to yourself that I'm never going to do this again. You know what you unleash when you do that? You unleash conviction upon your spirit. Because you notice that if you ever say that I'm going to stop smoking, I'm going to stop drinking, or whatever your advice is, whatever drug, whatever it may be, it could be porn, it could be addiction to food, whatever it is. An addiction is an addiction. But anyway, whenever you say that you're going to stop doing that, you notice if you ever found yourself about to go and double back to doing what you said you weren't going to do, that you feel this tingly feeling inside, as if you got your hand caught in a chip cookie jar, or if your parents say you can't go to your friend's house after school and you end up going anyway. You know that little feeling that you get on the way to your friend's house, knowing that you're not supposed to be there because you promised your parents that you're going to come straight home. That's the same spirit of conviction that you unleash upon yourself once you tell yourself that you're not going to do something again. So when you truly want to do something, you're going to do it. Trust and believe. But for some people, it's going to take a traumatic experience. It's going to take it. Some people have to operate that way. You know what I mean? Sometimes it'll take you to have a health scare. It'll take you to have a near-death experience. It'll take that, but it'll make you never want to do it again. Some people can do it psychologically, be like, okay, I'm ready to tack this on. This is bothering me in my life, or feel like I can be better without this, and I really want to do this for the betterment, and they just go and do it. But a lot of people, the majority, overwhelming majority of people, are not that strong. They don't have the mental capacity to be able to do that. Some people have to be forced into it in one way or another. So, in order for that spirit of conviction to be unleashed, you have to say that and make that promise to yourself that you're never going to do it again. Now that the spirit of conviction is unleashed upon your spirit, now you can do anything. You can do anything. Whatever you do, you will be convicted for it. Anything that you do, you will be checked. You will be checked. Anyway, the third undeniable way to overcome any addiction is that you have to change your lifestyle. Yes, you're going to have to change your whole lifestyle. Everything that you've done while you were in the midst of doing that addiction, you're going to have to change. Yeah, you're going to have to change. Maybe when it comes to smoking and drinking or whatever, if you was to go out and party all the time when you was smoking and drinking, you might have to stop doing that. You might have to stop doing the same things you were doing along the lines of the addiction. You might not be able to hang with a lot of the friends that you used to hang out with. Because simply, to be honest, a lot of the friends I had while I was having my addiction, excuse me, guys, a lot of the problems I had and the friends that I had during the time of my addictions, it didn't matter because we only was hanging together because we had something in common. But once that left, it seems like they left as well. That's the main thing we had in common. When I was just a big drunk, all I hung around was other drunks, whether they want to admit it or not. But that's all I hung around. When I smoked, all I hung around was other smokers. Oh, let's match this. Let's match that. Oh, let's go drink this. Let's go drink that. But once you take that out of the equation, a lot of people will gonna fall off of your life, and you got to be prepared for that. And it's gonna be a lot of boring times. But trust me, it's worth it. Getting over it. And with time, it will. You will rewire your psychology. You will change your brain to feel like we can get along without this substance, without whatever we're feeding it that we are addicted to. We will be able to do that, guys. You will be able to do that. Because simply, once you make that lifestyle change, you're getting away, you're moving yourself away from those things that are triggers, that could be possible triggers to those addictions. So whatever you've done, whether you was laying in bed a certain way at a certain night or whatever, whatever you was doing, maybe you sit there and watch movies and get drunk every night. If you want to stop drinking, maybe you'll have to stop doing that. That's what it's going to take. That's what it's going to take, guys. But at the end of the day, it's a lot of things that you could change. But at the same time, once you're getting time in, once you're getting your brain back used to being normal again, that's when those things you can simply bring them back. But you will be able to do them without the presence of that addiction, the presence of whatever substance, the presence of whatever you were doing that was classified as an addiction. See what I mean? Time away from it. Restructuring and giving your brain reassurance that, okay, we can get along without this. Because if you don't do that, then you're going to end up falling back on the square one. You're going to start relapsing. But at the end of the day, relapsing is a part of the process. So you're going to quit and quit and quit until you're done forever. Even if you say never again, but you still have that conviction released upon your spirit. So even if you relapse, okay, you still can start over. Just because you're climbing something or you're going on a road to somewhere, just because you fall down in the road doesn't mean that you haven't covered a great distance. So keep going the distance, guys. Keep going. You can be going all the way from here, from Florida to Georgia, but you going to Miami to Georgia. If you go to Miami and all of a sudden you start at Tampa and you fall down at Tampa and relapse, that doesn't mean you automatically start back over at Miami. You had time away from that. You got your brain used to that. Some people, it's going to take time for you to fall down. But just because you've done that doesn't mean you haven't gone anywhere, guys. Don't ever feel like just because you've relapsed that it's over. Oh, I can't do this. Yes, you can. You're just going to keep doing it over and over again. If you want it bad enough, And most likely that's why this traumatic experience, like I mentioned before, most must happen for a lot of people is because it's going to take a whole lot of mental fortitude to be able to continue this journey. But anyway, those are the 3 undeniable ways to overcome an addiction, guys. If you enjoy the content, go ahead and comment, like, and subscribe, guys. Go ahead and click that notification bell so you can be notified whenever I drop a video, guys. And remember, guys, anybody can improve themselves if they're willing to work at it. I'm out.